Okay. So as far as this session goes, of course, Felix said on chat that we're going to be down a levy today. We may or may not be having session next week because I'm hoping to go to the farmers market with my mom, but I'll let you know. And yeah, with that, I'll jump right into the summary. Last we left off, you guys had your fun little boat trip on the keel boat called the Fairy Dragon, and you were attacked by a weird aquatic goblin creature and its pet water elemental. It was essentially the creature from the Black Lagoon. But you guys quickly dispatched the attackers. Captain Daisy let you keep the scroll you found on the body of the creature in sort of in exchange as a thanks for helping fight off these creatures from the lake that were attacking her boat. And from there, you guys heard, when returning to land, you heard a town crier talking about a serial killer of some sort in one of the other cities. And we're kind of intrigued because it sounded like the serial killer is using the same kind of magic that Tobias uses. So that could be worth looking into, but not right now. Right now, it's all about hanging out, having fun, and that's where we come back. You guys were at the dance hall in the Wise Quarter.
Doing backflips.
Yeah.
But Tobias and I were planning on starting to walk over to the temple to Saloon.
All right. I know that Urine had just returned to the dance hall.
Hi, Urine. Hi, Urine.
Were you gonna do anything there, Urine?
Dance?
All right.
Doesn't have any detailed plans.
Who are you dancing with?
Probably. Who's still there? We have B and Levy. And is anyone else still at the hall?
Hawk is
y'all are leaving.
No, Zamira is sticking around. Yeah. She just kind of waved the boys off, like, bye, have fun storming the temple.
Everybody's staying except for us two, and then Hawk is out playing the lute on a grassy knoll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hawk is vibing elsewhere. He's in a garden. Lish and Toby are the ones that are going off to the Temple of Saloon. B's there, Demir's there, Levy's there.
I think Rin's gonna come in and look around the room and realize that, like, it's mostly pole dancing, which is not necessarily what he came prepared for. But he'll probably, if B is open, go over to B and just offer a hand.
B.
Do we have a B this morning? A deceptive B this morning.
I'm gonna, you know what? I guess that she's dead. So I will say that that B will dance with you.
Aaron definitely does not know the dance that's happening, but that's not going to stop him from vibing.
Roll performance. I'll tell you what. Just for fun, for flavor.
$13.
You're not doing too bad. The dances of your people aren't really like this, but it's less about being good and more about having fun, you know?
Yeah.
Demir, what are you doing?
Well, Aaron stole the person I was going to dance with next, so I guess I'll take Levy again for a spin.
All right. You can roll performance too if you like.
Sure, why not? Ooh, that's not bad. That would be that is a 17.
17? Yeah, you're doing pretty
Oh,
good.
hold on.
Oh.
That's a 18. Sorry, I did
18.
my math wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, you're doing pretty good. The dances of your home are, again, not too similar, but you are familiar with the dance halls of high society. In a way, at least. And you're able to pick up on things pretty quickly, and you are
Look, when you've been to one ballroom, you've been to them all. Like,
you are the one leading Levy in this dance, and Levy is blushing and privately kind of picturing like wearing a big like flowy gown and is spinning around.
Yeah.
All right.
Love to make a girl blush.
In that case, we will switch to the temple boys now.
Boys trip.
Lish, you lead the way, I assume, as you're the one that's actually been here.
Actually knows where I'm going.
Yeah. So you may recall that the temple is on the West Road, and as such, it has been affectionately nicknamed Temple Town. Largest temple, of course, is to Joaquin, but there are other popular deities there: Saloon, Soon, Gond, Helm, Janti, and Tempest. There is a temple to the goddess of magic in the Wise Quarter, which is a little closer to where you are, but like you're heading for the saloon right now.
We're heading for Moon Mommy.
Mm-hmm. And when you get there, it's as elegant as you remember. There are the draped fabrics along the walls and curtains. There are the benches surrounding the pool. And actually, you can see High Priestess Asayanga sitting near the edge of the pool, kind of meditating there.
Is my ring still on the edge of the pool, or has that been cleared away for more recent offerings?
That's been cleared away, yeah. I mean, it's been a week or two, so and for those of you that don't remember, High Priestess Asayanga, she's a very old half elf. She's dark skinned, and she is wearing robes, the robes of high clerics of her goddess, and she doesn't have an interpreter with her right now. She's just meditating.
She's having her private time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I kind of gesture Toby up to the pool. Like, that's where you do it. You got to get down and pray. That's what I remember being told.
What do I say?
Say what you want and what you're willing to give.
With tentative steps, Toby goes over to the pool that he was told to. He kind of follows. Are there like there's the head priestess there, and she's in a praying stance as well, or?
She is sitting sort of crisscross applesauce, and she has the backs of her hands on her knees and her palms facing upwards, and her eyes are closed. And you don't know this because you haven't been here before, but Lish would remember that she is deaf, so she has not noticed you. Her eyes are closed. Or if
But it
she
looks like
has noticed you, she's not giving any sign.
But it looks like she could be praying or meditating.
Yes.
Okay. Then Tobias will mimic that posture.
All right. Do you say anything or think anything? Or are you going for just a meditation?
How do I want to word this? I guess Tobias is just going to quietly whisper, "Are you there?"
Are you trying to speak to Saloon or?
Yeah.
Okay. So for the sake of this, I would say either roll persuasion or just a straight up wisdom check.
Let's see. I guess I'll do persuasion. Yeah. Oof, that's gonna be a 3.
Yeah, you're
bad.
You're sitting there trying to sort of mimic the posture of the high priestess, and you're like, and you're kind of shift and find a comfortable position, roll your shoulders, kind of open your eyes, look around, and then go back, and you're finding a hard time sitting still.
I'm gonna go over to the pool too, not bothering Tobias or the lady, just kind of probably on the other side. And sit cross-legged on the ground right next to it and try and meditate myself.
Okay. If you're trying to meditate, in that case, roll wisdom check.
That is a dirty 20.
Yeah, you're as you sit there and close your eyes, you breathe out, and it's a restful and calm and you swear that you can smell a little bit of the pine forest from home.
Okay.
And just breathing in and out, and it's comfortable, and you're not really you're not someone who meditates with some frequency, but this is comfortable and nice. You could probably get used to this.
Yeah, I'll just keep kind of at it and kind of mentally outside of the meditation keeping note of Tobias and the priestess.
Can Tobias keep trying to ask Celine stuff, or?
I mean, you can try again in a little while, but for now,
Okay.
you rolled a 3, so
Yeah, that's why I wanted to.
You can sit and stew is what you can do.
Yeah. You can have an internal monologue if you so choose.
What's Tobias thinking about?
God, probably the thing that comes to his forefront is that he doesn't know what he's doing. The longer that he stays in his head, the more panicked he starts to feel, knowing that he does not know where Ofsi is, whether or not he's safe, if he's okay. He wants to have faith that Ofsi is strong enough to watch after himself, but there's also the fear of, what if he can't do it this time? What if he doesn't come back? And in the very back of his head, there's this even quieter thought that he tries to push down. By the gods, if I don't see him again, I never got to tell him.
At this point, High Priestess Asayanga sort of opens her eyes, and she recognizes Lish and kind of just looks towards him. You have your eyes closed because you're meditating, but she gracefully sweeps to her feet and moves closer to you, Tobias.
Kind of stiffens as she approaches, looks at her a little with uncertainty. I'm sorry, did I interrupt you?
She says something to you in the same sort of hand language that that bee speaks in, and she sort of waves her hand, and you don't know too much about magic or casting spells. It's not really your area, but you can sort of feel in energy as she kind of holds her hand out to you.
Tobias will reach out and place her hand gently in hers. Because, like, she was holding out offering, or?
Yeah.
Okay, then, yep.
All right, so she is she casts guidance on you, which means that you can add a d4 to an ability check once. It's not much, but it's something. And she sits down next to you and sort of gets into a meditation position again, kind of showing you how to do it a little bit better. She's a nice lady. She's doing what she can.
He follows her position and adjusts himself so he's in a better meditative position. And I guess it's enough time has passed for him to try asking.
Yes.
Okay. What he asks, it'll come in a more of a strained whisper, keeping his eyes closed and stuff. Please, I just need some guidance.
Roll persuasion.
Yeah. And then I should use the D4 for the
You can, yes. If you want to, or you can save it. Up to you.
I have to make a decision before I roll, don't I?
This one would be persuasion because of how you phrased it.
Oh, right. Because the guy's saying it's for wisdom.
Not necessarily. It's just one ability check of your choice. So like you roll the d20 and then you add your modifiers to it, and then you roll a d4 and you can add whatever you rolled to that.
I'm gonna roll the d4 for that, see if I can get
Okay.
better.
I love that she gave you a bonus and you immediately used it against her.
Not against her.
Not against her.
It's
It was okay. 15.
You're not sure if it's the guidance spell or the presence of the high priestess or what have you, but you feel a little more comfortable with it this time. And there's something sort of drawing you to touch the pool of water.
Tobias will reach a shaking hand out and dip his fingers into the water.
And much like did for the Lish, you sort of, it doesn't feel like you're putting your hands into water. It feels like the tips of your fingers, which you stuck into the water, are at home. It's the sort of breeze through the trees of the forest you grew up in, the cool early morning air of a morning hunt.
kind of gives a shaky sigh at that. Is it cool for him to ask? Like, I don't know how this whole process works. Like, do I have to wait longer? Or do I ask another question? Or do I just meditate?
Well, I mean, are you trying to do the same thing, or are you trying to know more about religion? What are you going for here exactly?
I get, like, how does Tobias just trying to see if he can get answers. Like, I guess, how would he communicate with Saloon? What's the best process for doing that?
So, you would know that the gods don't frequently, you can't quite like directly talk to them unless you're a cleric of them. You could ask B for help. You could ask the high priestess. But not only are the gods not kind of sketchy for communicating their clerics directly, unless they are they're pretty high level. But like it's kind of unusual. So basically what you're getting right now is the comfort of the temple, and perhaps attention from Saloon herself, but she's not going to talk to you unless you're casting a spell.
Okay. Then I guess Tobias will just meditate.
Okay.
I heard she's not going to talk to you unless you're getting a spell. My mind just went, okay, fireball.
I'm talking like commune.
I know you mean
okay.
like message or augury or something.
I'm talking commune or scry or
Right.
divine
Augury.
intervention.
Right. Fireball. Okay.
Kind of peek one eye open, look over at Tobias settling back down to meditate or pray or whatever he's planning on doing.
Yeah, the high priestess is still there next to him. Tobias, do you still have your fingers in the water, or are you just...
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll basically just kind of try to start meditating with his fingers dipped in the water, head kind of bowed, eyes closed.
Okay. What you thinking, Lish?
Lish is probably he's probably sort of been thinking about this since he started meditating, but kind of just like how do I he's kind of like a little bartering emotion saying a little bit like, well, I brought you somebody that I think is touched by you. One of your own, seeking your help.
Roll persuasion.
That's a 13.
Yeah, you're not getting much. You could touch the water again if you like, but you're pretty sure you'll know what it feels like.
Yeah, he's not gonna touch the water. He's just gonna kind of continue his meditation stance and just kind of just like, yeah.
All right.
I don't know. He's gonna just kind of continue like on that sort of train of thought of just like, I've given you something. Is there something that you can do for me? Sort of thought.
Let's see. Is that like I'm gonna do anything?
And sneaked in there amidst his own kind of more selfish thoughts, he's thinking, and I hope that you can find something to help him.
All right. You two aren't really getting much right now. As I said, you have to be more of a high level cleric for gods to want to be more directly involved, but it's comforting in a way to be in this temple and to think that this goddess, the goddess of the moon and life and twilight, kind of has her eyes on you guys, and there's a small comfort in that.
It may be comforting, but Lish is like getting like noticeably frustrated and annoyed the longer that they sit there.
It's probably like after they've been sitting there for a while, Tobias just starts having thoughts of, what am I doing wrong? What I can't seem to do it right. What am I doing wrong? Why can't I get this right?
Yeah, and I think after like a long while of them kind of sitting there, Lish is gonna stand up with a snarl of annoyance and anger, and he's gonna start kind of pacing around in the temple again, like he was doing the last time he was here. This time more in frustration rather than impatience, waiting for the moon to rise.
All right.
When Lish gets up and snarls, like the action startles kind of Tobias out of his meditation. His hand comes out of the water and he looks up to watch Lish start pacing around all frustrated.
Yeah, he's in his own head. I don't think that he's paying too much mind to you or anybody else in the temple at this point.
Okay. Hesitantly, Tobias slowly rises to his feet, mindful to not disturb the high priestess next to him, and goes over to Lish and places a hand on his shoulder and says, did you not get anything as well?
Nothing useful. Practically nothing at all. Just makes it like a sigh. And you?
No, I'm sorry.
Let's leave.
Tobias just kind of nods quietly at that. momentarily looks over to the high priestess before wandering back over and saying, "Thank you for trying to help me." And he gives her a slight bow.
Do you make sure that she can see you when you say this? Or are you just saying it?
Probably.
Yeah, like when he walks over, he tries to get her attention so he doesn't like startle her.
Mm-hmm. She looks up at you, nods, and she sort of gestures with her hands and to kind of say without using words, like you're welcome back here anytime. And now that she sees you're done meditating with her, she's gonna stand up and start to get some incense to put by the edge of the pool at different spots, and she starts lighting the incense.
Okay. Tobias will leave her be to do that and go return to Lish.
Yeah, Lish's arms cross as he watches Tobias and the priestess interact and waits for Toby to come back before kind of heading out.
All right, do you guys head back to the dance hall, or are you going to the CD bar you talked about?
I guess we can swing by the ball, but I'm not gonna dance.
Okay.
Yeah, Tobias isn't feeling up for dancing either.
And switch back to the dance music then. So yeah, you guys get back and things are starting to wind down for the evening to an extent. Your fellow party members are dancing with each other and kind of just basically having a good time.
Shall we move on to the next location? Lish calls to Demir and whoever she's dancing with.
Yeah, I'd say probably at this point, depending on how long it's taken, I am going to assume that Aaron switched out partners so that Demir had a chance to dance with B and maybe even Aaron, depending on how long they were gone for.
Oh yeah, the other guys were gone for a little bit, so there's been a few songs in between.
Yeah. And when Lish calls out, Demir is going to kind of finish out the song with a little bit of a fancy twirl and bow, a little bit of showboating. Before she kind of turns back to the group and is like, yeah, let's go. Yalla.
Onwards.
All right. So you guys were going to the kind of shadier bar, the Hornet's Nest?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's see. So this inn is what would be called a poor quality inn in a rougher part of town. It's near the Siren's Call. It's the kind of in tavern, shall we say, where there are discounts if you there are discounts if you rent it for the room, because mostly they rent by the hour. And when you head inside, you can see hang on, I have to find tavern ambiance. So there are a few figures of note within the inn. It's also a little darker in here, I should note. There is the person that your eyes are drawn to instantly. You would think that he is some sort of silver statue if he weren't moving around and talking to people, being cheerful. This guy is an Azamar. His skin is silver and shiny, and it's glinting in the kind of low candlelight of the hornet's nest. He's cheerful and talking to his patrons, and standing to the side of the bar, kind of out of the way, in a position where he can keep an eye on the entire floor of the tavern, but also stay back, is this enormous half-orc dude. He, for lack of a better description, he's a beefcake. And he's buff, and he's got this, like, what looks like a great sword on the back of his, strapped to his back. And, like, he looks like he can and will fuck you up if necessary. And another, in one of the corners of the tavern, you can see a what looks like a tiefling. He has kind of like bluish purple, indigo, that sort of area skin, and then bright red eyes and horns that are swirly and kind of curling up and going back. And he's wearing clothes that look like they were once nice, but are maybe kind of secondhand now. And he is kind of standing next to this other buff dude. This one's human. And the tiefling is kind of calling over to people and trying to get them to arm wrestle his friend for in a contest. And he's kind of calling out, 25 silver to enter. Prize is the total pot for the night. Do you think it can beat him? And then there are various and sundry drunks kind of just hanging out around the area. But yeah.
Is there any way, like, booth or other, like, kind of more comfortable seeming areas, or is it all like hard chairs and tables?
It's all pretty much hard chairs and tables.
Is any table open, or?
Yeah, there are a few tables open. There's one near the tiefling guy and his arm wrestling dude. There's you may notice that there aren't any that are too close to the big half-orc guy. And then there's several stools at the bar, and the silvery Azamar guy, he's kind of chatting with the people at the stools, and when someone orders another round, he leaves from the back of the bar, slaps the half-orc on the butt on the way, and then gives the guy the drink, and then heads back. Don't worry, it's his husband.
I was very concerned.
I'm very disappointed. I am. Would Demir be able to tell that the silver skin guy is a Tamar, or
Yeah. You can kind of tell by looking at him. He's got some angelic features, and he might be a different flavor of Azamar, shall we say, than your companion Erin is, but you can tell just by looking at him that he's got the celestial blood.
Demir is going to kind of like nudge Erin a little with her shoulder, like, you were looking for another flyboy, weren't you?
He's gonna, yeah. Oh. And look over to the bar. And then kind of like his face is just gonna kind of steal up over the course of a few seconds. And then he's gonna jolt over and look at Lish and say, I don't know that I feel comfortable here.
Wish is like looking pretty sulky and a little surly and has found his way to one of the tables and has pulled the chair out and has sat down in it and looks up at Erin like, you're gonna make me stand back up.
I don't know that what we talked about. I don't know if I'm comfortable.
Because there's another one like you here.
Are you afraid
You
won't
don't have to
measure up?
talk to him.
Let's roll for this, actually.
It's at this point that the silver Azamar kind of calls over to you guys like, welcome friends. We're having a discount on liquor tonight, so you came in at the good time.
Demir just
no.
kind of like holds up a hand, like, thank you, got it.
You kind of get the impression from looking at him that he's the guy that you kind of would be expecting to run, and he's cheerful. He's like into what he's doing. He's friendly. He's the type of person that likes to meet interesting people.
And I'm just gonna say to Lish, no, I guess Demir. No, not that. It's just it's been a long day, and I would very much like to take up that liquor sale.
Oh.
Oh, I see.
There's other things to drink, Erin.
You cut out a little, Kenzie.
There's other things to drink, Erin.
Okay, thank you.
Erin looks nervous.
I mean, you haven't seen Lish drink. So.
Demir's kind of going to look at the rest of the group, seeing that the energy is kind of petering out a little, and it's just like, well, do we want to stay for at least one round and then head back, or we?
Yes.
All right. I'll find you something good, Erin. And I'm going to go up to the bar.
Fruit punch, fruit punch. Seltzer water. Anything but milk.
So you head up to the bar, and as you do, I'd like you to just make a quick perception check.
Sure. Let me check what my perception is. All right. That is a 17.
All right. So as you approach the bar, something sort of catches your eye. You can see that strapped to the Asimar's hip, he's got a short sword, and then below the bar, kind of off to the side, because it's kind of curved. You can see. Just glancing, there's a light crossbow, in case you get the impression that this is the kind of place where brawls will break out, or you will have to convince people to leave. Safety first.
Yeah.
But he greets you with a warm smile, and he kind of leans on the bar, looks at you and says, "Well, I don't think I've seen you in here before."
I just rolled into town a few days ago. I heard that this is a place to get a party.
Oh, that it is. What can I do for you?
Well, I need, what sort of drinks do you have?
Well, depends. Are you looking for something a little fancier, or are you looking for whatever will get you drunk the fastest?
I like a good drink. So, something fancy for me. I'll need something non-alcoholic for my friend. And, do you have any, cream or honey or...
Cream. Well, and he sort of thinks for a minute. I have local milk, if you prefer. Otherwise, there's fruit juice, or if you're looking to sober up and you've already gotten started on your drinking, there's coffee.
Do you have any meat?
Meat? Well, I do indeed. There's we recently got in some crocodile steak and
Me.
Oh no, I said, sorry, I said mead.
mead. Okay.
Sorry.
Let's see. Well, we have Evermead and mead wine. But once again, if you're looking to have for something a little cheaper, I would go for the liquor.
Well, can I get a fruit juice for my friends, a Evermead for my other friends, and what kind of liquor do you have?
Well, as I said, it really depends on if you're trying to get drunk or not. Our most expensive mead is Ilverkey, which is rather rare. I'm not sure you'll have been able to try it before, but it's used in certain elven rituals every now and then. If you're looking for something cheap, our cheapest drink is, well, shall we say affectionately called hog piss. But it'll get you drunk fast. Otherwise, we got vodka or sea wine.
What do I know what sea wine is?
It is not up to the quality that you'd be used to. It's a grain alcohol, distilled starches from like saltwater swamps in certain coastal regions. It's the taste isn't terrible, but it's not really drunk for its taste. It's drunk
It's
for
you
its
drink it to
potency.
get drunk.
It's super flammable.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to get a bottle of the Elvish mead. Or a glass or something like that.
Okay.
A glass of juice, and then I'm
The
going
most
to get
expensive
like
one, he said. Is that the one you're going for?
the fancy mead. Just a glass if I can.
Okay. Oh, okay. So the Evermead. That one is 11 gold pieces.
For a glass?
For glass, it would let's see. I'm going off of a spreadsheet here. So that would probably be about 5 gold pieces then.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll get a glass of that. I'll get a glass of fruit juice.
All right.
Guys,
It's cranberry juice, in case you're interested.
cranberry juice, yeah. How much would that be?
5 copper pieces.
Excellent. That's all my copper. And then I will get like, is there a bottle of yeah, is there a bottle of like vodka and a mixer or something like that that I could get for the table?
Well, there is just regular
Ooh, actually, is there
medium
rum?
quality vodka for a gold piece.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
And then I will bring my haul back, put the fruit juice for Aaron, and
Okay.
put the very fancy mead on the table and kind of scoot it towards Lish without looking at him, and put down the glasses for everyone else and start pouring them some drinks.
So I will note that the Evermead you got for yourself, it's golden and kind of shimmery. And when you taste it, it's a perfect mix of sweetness and spice and kind of smoky. It's really good.
Yeah, like I said, I am going to like kind of take a sip to taste it, and then I'm going to put it on the table and scoot it towards Lish without looking at him as I'm like pouring drinks for everyone else.
Yeah. Just for fun, I like to have people make a perception check.
Yeah, who? Everybody?
Mm-hmm.
That's a natural one.
Natural 20.
Ooh.
Gonna be a 13.
That's a natty one. I think that's the first natural one on perception I've gotten. It's an 8. I mean, it's still a natural one, but
Yeah, most of you are kind of too absorbed in what you're doing, what you're drinking to notice. But Aaron, you notice that there's something kind of off about the wood floor that the buff half orc dude is standing on, the bouncer.
Ooh. I do not know how to respond to that.
Since you got a natural 20, I will say it looks like he could be standing on trap door of some sort. Maybe to a cellar. Maybe. I don't know.
Aaron probably just sat down next to Lish. Actually, Aaron is probably uncharacteristically close to Lish. he normally tries to keep a very definitive space from specifically Lish, but he's just right there like, yep, I'm right here. And yeah, I guess he'll turn to Lish and be like, does that look good to you? And then point over there. I think that looks like a trap door.
With my natural one. Don't know what you're talking about until I guess you pointed out.
Yeah, now that Erin has pointed it out, you kind of look at it and figure, oh yeah, maybe that bit of floor was replaced at one point or something. I don't know. It's very subtle.
Yeah, he like looks at it. Doesn't seem to respond so much to it aside from like a little bit of a shrug. And Lish is going to reach for the glass that Demir pushed over to him, and he's going to kind of look at it and give it a sniff and kind of make a face like, huh. He's going to take a sip of it. He's going to set it very quickly down on the table. He's going to reach over to Demir and he's going to kiss her full in the face. And then he's going to let her go and he's going to sit back down and kind of like take this cup into his hands and just sip at it.
At this point, the tiefling dude, I was trying to get people to come over and arm wrestle his buddy. A dude has just lost the contest to the human guy that the tiefling is with. The tiefling is kind of looking around in the vicinity, and his eyes land on you guys, and he comes over and kind of leans against the table and it's like, how do you do, my friends? Don't think I've ever seen you in here before.
Haven't?
And he sticks his hand out, and his nails are really nice, like very manicured, for one of you and any of you to shake. And he says, my name's Vice, and my friend Roland and I are, well, we have something of a bet going on.
And if no one else is immediately, Aaron will take that hand and shake it and say, oh?
He thinks that he can go for an entire week without anyone beating him in an arm wrestling contest. Do any of you think you could beat him?
Lish looks at Aaron.
I've been thinking for like the past minute how hilarious it would be if like Hawk challenged him and we like took the fact that he's a warforged to make it so that his arm just never moves but he doesn't win. Just like lock up his mechanical joints, just like sitting there like, I've got all night.
Lish probably like looks at Aaron in consideration for a half second before kind of maybe dismissing that thought and being like, nah. Then he looks at Demir like,
Only
Demir and then
Why
only
strong?
25 silver pieces to enter the competition, and if you win, you look like good folks. I'd say that you could probably even take home the whole pot if you want.
Ooh.
Demir still kind of looks a little dazed from when Lish just grabbed her and kissed her. So she's kind of like blinking out of it and kind of like looks at the party like, do we want to do this?
Demir would win if it was leg wrestling. Dumb thighs though.
Just stick sticks her leg up there, like.
Tobias
Oh, that
just
is a
kind
whole aesthetic.
of, when Demir, like, you know, looks at the party and stuff, Tobias just kind of shrugs and goes back to looking down at his drink that he's just kind of swirling in his cup a little bit.
You could just volunteer us all.
Oh God.
It's gonna say, well, I can't guarantee that win, but I mean, why not?
Very well. So you are going to be playing as anyone else?
And I think I'm also gonna look at specifically Toby.
Yeah, Toby.
You're not getting out of this one.
Them back
anyone
muscles
else
got to be
coming?
good for something.
I'll give it a shot.
Ooh, we got 3 people trying.
Tobias, like,
Excellent. Who's up
looks
first?
up when Aaron, like, it takes Tobias like a couple moments before he realizes Aaron's like looking at him and stuff, and then like looks at him wide-eyed like, are you fucking serious?
Aaron's eyes have been very dim this entire time, but during that look, he flashes them briefly. And I think that's all.
Control that.
I like gang.
I've been
I
using
like
it to
gang.
emote.
Tobias looks kind of resigned. He's like, sure. I'll give it a shot.
Resigned to fun.
All right.
And then I think I'll into the guy and say, well, I volunteered first. I think it's only fair that I step up first.
Imagining
Alright.
Lish sitting back, like eating popcorn as this is happening.
Just
So-
sipping his mead.
You head over to the table where the guy Vice said his name was Roland is sitting, and he looks pretty strong, pretty buff. Do you perhaps even more so than the half orc bouncer? Do you sit down at the table across from him, and he holds out his hand like this. Do you take it?
Yes. And
And Vice kind of leans forward and holds your fist, and then holds out his hand to you for the 25 silver entry fee.
I thought it was 5 silver.
25 silver.
and that and actually okay, yeah, this is gonna be weird. At that, Aaron like pulls out a small handful of gems because they're
Really?
the only thing he has bigger than a
Uh-oh.
copper piece right now.
There's probably like one gem in there that's worth like 25 silver.
And yeah, he just has a handful of gems and he's just kind of confused.
Shiny.
I guess he'll turn to Demir. I think Demir would. Yeah, I think that's probably his opinion of Demir. Like, do you have any idea which of these would be a comparable amount?
I will have it noted that Vice's eyes kind of like go big and his eyebrows shoot up when he pulled out all of these gems. And he's like,
You're gonna get us mugged.
How about I take all of them?
just a handful. But yes, we definitely have gems.
Yeah, can I tell which one is going to be worth 25 silver? I assume they might.
probably. Just make sure that you mark it down properly.
Yeah, will do.
Yeah, I'm going to point out the one that's probably worth 25 silver and just like
Okay.
Well, it's just like
put
Maya
my
can't
hand
have.
over
I mean,
Aaron's and slowly lower it back into his bag.
Vice is just like, oh, I can have all of them.
You also kind of catch the eye of the Silver Azamar at the bar.
Yeah,
You're over here
I'm like
flashing some
noticing that we're
coins.
being watched. Like,
Look, Aaron is not smart, and he is especially not street smart.
Poor
Okay.
man.
Let me pull out the stats for this guy. You're going to be arm wrestling.
Oh yeah.
I'm so glad you guys decided to go with this. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have an arm wrestler guy. It'll be fun. I don't know if they'll go for it because none of them are super strong. But all right. Where are you? Okay. So Vice kind of takes the gem delicately. And it's very swift. He takes it and like almost immediately it's gone into one of his belt pouches. And
She's watching like a hawk.
yeah, before like the actual wrestle starts, Demir is going to put her hands on Aaron's shoulders and just kind of like whisper in his ear, I would suggest that you rage for this one.
Ooh.
just have a ghost appear during.
Nothing suspicious going on with this arm wrestling competition. Nothing out of sorts.
I mean, is the arm wrestle necessarily an attack?
It is not an attack.
It is not an attack, but
Like-
and I'm going to also like give Aaron a little kiss on the cheek as like kind of an excuse for why I leaned in like that.
Okay.
Aaron is
So for the purposes
blushing.
of this, this will be a contested strength roll. It's not a saving throw, it's just a roll. So go ahead and roll.
all right. Yep, Aaron's eyes around the room, and I'm gonna remove one rage that I get daily. Okay. And that's yeah, okay. That is that's an 8.
Yeah, no, you're feeling pretty confident. You're feeling pretty good. But this guy is super strong, and like almost instantly he just slaps your hand down onto the table. And Vice
Snorting
kind
into
of
my mead.
grins, and you can see his sharp tiefling teeth, and he says, "Oh, better luck next time, friend. Who's up next?"
He's gonna go, and then get up and like gesture at Demir and Toby while pulling out the chair.
The dude
Tisk
rolled a
tisk.
22.
If you're running a scam like that, you always let the person win on the first round so they feel like they can do it. And then they're like, yeah, let's do that more times. And then they don't win again, but they still think they can.
But the bet is that he's not going to lose over the course of a week.
Is that a bet, or is that what he just said to have you come over?
Who knows?
I mean,
He's not even necessarily doing a scam. He just knows his buddy's really strong.
Wouldn't be surprised if this
God.
guy's got a certain belt on.
honestly.
That's like something a scammer would do, I'm sure, in this setting.
Well, yes,
Just a thought.
but
I'm not
I
like
mean, you can roll insight if you want.
I'm not there.
That's fair. Who's up next?
Cut.
I guess technically Toby, because he
Sorry.
was volunteered by Aaron second, or was
Yeah,
it Demir that?
I was going to say Demir gestures to Toby to take
All
the
right.
seat.
Vice holds out his hand for the 25 silver pieces.
Before the next round starts, I'd like to cast Detect Magic and look around at these people and see if I can sense anything under the floorboards that they're standing on.
That they're standing on, or that the bouncer is standing on?
Under that trap door that was
Okay.
pointed out by Aaron.
Well, you can kind of. What's the range on that?
30 feet from me.
You can sense something beneath the floorboards over there.
Can I sense what kind of magic it is?
It's different kinds. You get the impression it's like many small different kinds of magic.
Huh. Okay. And these grifters don't have any magic on them either.
No.
Okay. Good to know.
Tobias is gonna pass the guy 3 gold pieces, because while that's technically 5 silver more, that's he's only got 1 silver piece on him, so.
All right. Vice takes that, and again, it's the same motion, very swift, putting it in with his stuff.
Demir is also going to give Tobias a kiss on the cheek.
Okay.
For good luck.
Tobias is gonna try and take this seriously.
All right. Roll for it.
I got the kiss now. I can't fail.
And it's a strength check.
Strength check. That's right.
Seeing how
Don't fuck
Aaron
this up.
went, it might not be a kiss of good luck.
What'd you roll?
True.
Demir is secretly sapping our strength.
Oh no, Toby.
Kenzie, what did you roll?
A nat 1.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
It's a very bad luck kiss.
Dislocates
Oh.
Toby's shoulder,
That's the-
flips him over on the
I'm just thinking like the moment Vice lifts his hand, Toby's hand is just down in half a second.
I mean, don't kiss yourself. You're gonna just
Like he just wasn't ready.
He only rolled a 14 for that one, so I'm like, oh, Toby's gonna get it. Oh, okay.
Oh. Poor man.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think like that rolls.
last kiss of death.
Demir, are you gonna kiss yourself before you go? Or?
I don't know how to do that.
Tobias will
Kiss your
give
hand.
Demir a kiss on the cheek for good luck.
All right.
Thank you.
There we go.
I'm going to put down
As he does so, he whispers, "Avenge me."
Considering you just rolled a nat 1, I'm not sure how much luck you can pass on.
Oh no, you see, the bad karma of the nat 1 flowed out as soon as it was rolled.
All right.
That's how this works, I think.
All right, I'm going to sit down.
All right.
I'm going to put down 2 silver and 5 copper or 5 silver, 2 gold. I know how words work.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's not bad. Let me do some math. That is a 22.
You just barely beat him.
Oh!
He got a 21.
Avenge!
So you guys are tense there for a minute, and you're held in place for a few minutes, and he starts to give ground almost, but then you push him over. Vice and Roland both look shocked. And Vice is like,
Very nice.
Aaron will join that.
and so you're he starts to pull out your winnings from the bag. So in addition to the stuff that you guys contributed, which by the way is 25 silver worth of gems, 5 gold pieces and 5 silver pieces, so that you get all of that, which is the stuff that you guys gave in the first place. In addition to that, there is 275 silver pieces worth of stuff that they got from other people prior to your arrival.
11 people tried to fell this man, and they could not.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
He's
Well,
strong.
I will
Strong.
scoop that silver, that good silver. Give the 25 back to my party members and offer a hand to
Thank you.
the big man and just say good game.
He nods and looks impressed, and there's no hard feelings, and he shakes your hand.
And I'm going to also shake the tiefling's hand as well. And then
he
turn to my group and-
congratulates. He looks a little bitter, but he congratulates. So.
You see, when you go around making bets that high, you're bound to lose. And then I'm going to like turn to my group like with a little bit of a like and walk back to the table to get my drink.
When you walk back to the table, the bartender, the Azamar, kind of goes around on the side of the bar and goes up to your table. Because as I said, he noticed the gems that Erin was flashing around. He's like, I couldn't help but notice what happened over there. If you're looking for a little something stronger, I might be able to help you out.
Insight check.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wanna make an
roll
check.
insight.
Talking about stronger opponents or stronger beers.
That's a 15 for me.
15. Lish, what did you get?
11. I'm not rolling very well tonight.
Okay. So, Lish, you're not really sure what entirely he's getting at. Demir, however, you can, something kind of clicks in your mind, and you get that he's offering you some more diverse substances, should you choose to partake.
Oh my god, do they have fey weed here?
Well, I would certainly be interested in.
Cut out a little there, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I would certainly be interested in seeing what a selection you have.
Well, then perhaps we can come to an arrangement. You see, we have sort of an arrangement with the King of Cut Purses. If you head over to my husband over there, he will be able to help you out. And he nods towards the half orc.
Good to know. I'm going to like kind of look at the group and just like, we're going to, I think, enjoy our drinks for a little bit, and I'll see about taking you up on that offer later.
Very well. You know where to find me. My name is Ludwig, by the way. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Ludwig, nice to meet you. I'm not giving him a mind.
Yeah, and you don't know if that's an alias or not, but he heads back to the back of the bar.
Lish seems to have unsulked somewhat. Is kind of leaning against the table with his mead, mostly drunk, seeming
I would
far more
fucking
happier.
hope.
Far more happy.
5 silver or 5 gold pieces.
How much was a full bottle of this? It was like
11 gold.
ooh.
Actually, I'll tell you what, to see how drunk you are, roll. Yeah, let's see.
Been at least a month since he's had any kind of liquor, so
roll a Constitution saving throw.
Let's see. Oh boy. That's 11.
Yeah, you're drunk.
Oh.
Pleasantly
let's see.
so.
Yeah, you're still drunk. Let's see. I'm trying to pull up what this can mean. Because there are intoxication rules that I found. So you're at the point where perception checks have disadvantage. Anyone else?
Once the bartender returns to the bar, Tobias looks over to Demir quizzically. Like, I'm assuming everyone at the table is able to hear the conversation, what he was telling to Demir, or...
Yeah, I mean, he was talking to the whole table.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, he was talking to the whole table. He saw that you guys have some coin, and he's like, I'll bet I can get them to spend some of that money on some substances that may or may not be legal.
Tobias looks over to Demir and asks, didn't Navin work for the King of Cut Purses?
I believe she mentioned that name. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm not muted. Okay, sorry. I believe she mentioned that name. Criminal lord, I believe.
I'm not sure how wise it would be to get involved, especially if they find out we were the ones.
Yes, this may not be the best environment for us.
Just buying drugs.
I mean, yeah, we're just customers at this point. Hence, though, why I said we would consider it.
I wonder what they have. Probably nothing good. Oh well. This, on the other hand, is very good. And he sets his empty cup back down on the table.
Aaron's gonna turn to Demir and say, "Does he?" and not finish that line of questioning.
Does he what?
I want it to be known, by the way, that while Ludwig was over here, he was checking out Demir, Lish, and Iran.
Why? I guess my insight check wasn't good enough to find
Was mine. He was into us, wasn't he?
less.
He and his husband have an open marriage sort of deal.
Yeah.
Same.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, Tamir is going to kind of look at the group and finish off her drink and just say, well, we stuck around for a round. Do we want to stay for two, or are we headed home?
I'm ready to turn in for the night.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Demir is going to kind of put her empty glass down and stand up. Kind of give a nod to Ludwig, and then head towards the door.
I think
I
Lish
figure.
will kind of catch Demi real quick before she goes. Like, do you think that we could get more of the mead that you purchased earlier? How much was like a bottle of it?
11 gold.
I just give her my purse and say buy two.
All right. Then I will go over to the bar and say, can we get two of that Evermead bottles to go?
Are you looking for an entirely new bottle, or are you looking to finish off the one you'd already opened?
11 gold worth of.
2 new bottles.
Very well. 22 gold. We'll call it even.
All right. I'm going to using Lish's money.
Mm-hmm. And he comes back with 2 bottles, and they're, for lack of a better description, it's got the packaging of elvish wine. It looks pretty. It's shiny. It's the bottles are green with the little kind of golden cap in it, and the label itself is golden too.
Shukran. Thank you.
See you soon.
And I'm going to take the 2 bottles and head back to the group.
All right. So for the sake of this, you guys head back to the tavern you've been staying at. After all this trouble, I want to find drugs. That would be good for you guys.
I know. Wasted.
Oh well,
Sometimes
I
they-
have them handy for next time.
We know where to find it. We have an inn. We're good.
Yeah. You guys are thankfully not followed. As Vice and Roland are still have started kind of conning other people into arm wrestling and regaining their silver pieces. Do you guys
Nursing their wounded pride.
Yeah, I mean, Vice was the one that was more salty about it. You got the impression he was the one that was sort of arranging the whole thing. But Roland, he was cool about it. So you guys head back to the tavern you guys have been staying at, the Red Cat's Rest, and have a nice evening, I guess. Anyone doing anything for the rest of the evening?
I think upon getting back, when they're like heading up, Aaron's gonna just real quick turn to Demir and say, I'm glad you're a leader.
What? Pardon me.
I thought that was just impressive back there. And you, Leshan, and all that. I just wanted you to know that I appreciate it. And I think you're doing a good job.
I appreciate the way you crush men with your hands.
Is that Liz saying that while drunk, or?
No.
Hey, Aaron's not drunk. He's been drinking fruit juice.
Oh no. Lish, I was asking if Lish said, I like the way you crush men with your hands.
I mean, that just goes without saying, honestly. His admiration is constant.
Tamir is a little like head spinny. She drank enough to, and she's going to put her hand on Aaron's shoulder and just like, Aaron, my dear, I am no leader. And with that, I am going to kind of turn to Toby and Lish and just like, well, shall we go to bed, boys?
I think Lish will kind of take Levy's hand too, and he's just like, I've got this extra bottle. And he'll take one of the bottles of wine and he'll bring it up to the room, and we can all have some of this elvish wine that's very good.
Tobias will join him.
As they head off down the hall, Aaron just kind of slumps against the wall behind them and just has such a look of pure confusion on his face as he just, something just happened and I do not know how to process it.
I don't think Lish is like planning on sleeping with anyone tonight. He just is like enraptured with the fact that he can actually fucking drink something, and he's just like, let's share this experience, it'll be great.
Lich found the good stuff. Well,
I mean,
guess.
that's not the good stuff, my friend.
No, it is not.
Kenzie, you're muted if you're trying to speak.
It's like not even like the good stuff by his standards, it's like human good stuff.
Mhm.
It's just stuff, and
At
he
least
hasn't had that
here's
in a
the thing.
while.
Here's the thing. Elves by nature are lightweights. They tend to have like more fruity or foresty drinks. If you want good stuff, you need to find some dwarves or orcs.
He can't
They know how to
he
make
can't
stuff
drink
that'll
that.
get you good and hammered.
He can't drink that. It has to be elvish or fey. It will literally taste like sewer water. It's not gonna work. Anyways.
Anyway, do you keep drinking through the night, Lish?
He's gonna share his spoils and then
Okay.
go to sleep.
All right. I'll have you roll a hangover check in a minute. But anyone else doing anything?
I think Aaron, after that, is gonna go back down to the main room and find a like corner, very out of the way, dark table that he can get to, and he's gonna just, I don't know, probably order an appetizer to not have been rude for taking up a table, Um,
All right.
and he's gonna take out his diary and be writing into that for
While
into the
horking it all
night.
down.
All right. Lish, it probably gets to the point where not only do your perception checks have disadvantage, but dexterity saving throws and charisma saving throws and checks and stuff have disadvantage.
He's
too.
not going
Like,
anywhere.
yeah, you're not going anywhere. You're doing good.
He's found
Um,
somebody to cuddle up with, and he's just
Mhm.
enjoying sitting and sipping. Does Hawk ever find his way back to us?
I was gonna ask, is Hawk just
Yeah,
still
I
at the
was
fucking
gonna, I was
garden?
gonna chime in at some point.
I was gonna check in with Hawk in just a moment. Actually, I just wanted to
Okay.
make sure that that Lish knew just how drunk he was. Hawk, what are you doing?
Well, I assume that I've been just practicing that lute, hoping to actually get good with it while all that was happening. He is
Alright.
eventually gonna find his way back to the inn, though, because like
Okay.
he's not gonna disappear the entire night, and he does have to face the consequences of his actions anyway.
You see, you're in the corner, vibing.
He probably steps into the inn a bit after everyone else comes back.
All right. Yeah, as I said, you see Aaron in the corner.
Did I miss anything?
Oh, hi, Hawk. I'm gonna
Hi.
turn the thing I'm writing on upside down. No, not really. So did some dancing, some gang, and then yeah, and then he's in a tone of voice. He's gonna be like, "What were you up to?"
Mostly just practicing. I didn't want to dance, so I figured that while I was escaping attention, let's say, I'd at least practice getting better with this lyre.
Well, I found that the that dancing helped me get some stuff out, and I hope that your playing helped you do the same.
So you had fun then?
Yeah. Yeah.
If Hawk could smile, I'm sure he would. And he says, I'm sure Lish would be delighted to hear that from you, firsthand.
You
Kenzie nodding in the background.
you bring up a good point. I probably should.
As
think
for
of something
me,
to,
I expect to get in quite a bit of trouble with him in the morning, but it's nothing I can't handle.
I'm sure. Sure, you'll be illing on you for not learning what Lish's definition of fun is.
Hawk nods.
Hmm.
Surely. We'd best head to bed soon. It's quite late by now. Whatever we do in the morning, we probably don't want to do it on only a few hours of sleep.
Yeah, I think after today, I could probably use it. And just as a reminder, since nothing much has happened since things have happened, but since no healing has happened since our water battle, Aaron's been functioning on 5 hit points all day.
Oh my god! No wonder!
5 left.
And
Nobody
swear
bothered
to
to do
God.
nobody bothered to do a heal check after that combat.
He didn't say anything.
He didn't want to bother
I healed
anyone.
Demir. You could have gotten in on this.
Hawk's nearly at half HP himself. 19 out of 38.
Golly.
yeah, so at that, Aaron just kind of goes, yeah, probably
You
for the best.
look the worse for wear, so I would strongly suggest that you do that soon.
All right.
Lish stumbling out of the room, dropping a cure wounds on Aaron, and going back into the room.
God. Yeah, Soren's gonna stand up, look at Irie and say, shall we?
Let's, yes. Assuming other people are sleeping, like Hawk's assuming that, he's gonna try and enter wherever he's sleeping as quiet as he can.
Makes sense.
All right. Anyone else doing anything for the evening?
The only thing I was doing was that when Demir got back into the room, she immediately grabbed one of the bottles of mead, and while she has passed it around, has been kind of keeping it a little bit and plopped herself probably down in someone's lap.
You can sit with us. You can sit with me.
A couple of people's laps, just whoever wants the drink of mead.
You're not
she
allowed to
transferred
hoard
to
the mead,
lap.
though. I will pass it around.
She's making the rounds.
We can just stack. Toby sits down, then Lish sits in his lap, and then Dimmer sits in Lish's lap.
And then Levy in Demir's lap. It's great. So that's it. And eventually she's going to pass out in whoever's lap she ended up in.
All right. Okay. So as the night passes, there are no weird dreams or anything
Good.
yet. But yeah, to pull Matt Mercer as he come to consciousness the next morning. Guys slept pretty restfully. Some of you are more hungover than others. But yeah. What are people doing?
How bad is it, Doc?
I mean, you get all your
Sure.
HP back on a full
Uh,
rest, so.
Roll
Oh, I should-
Constitution saving throw.
Oh, you're talking about drunkenness. Okay. Yeah, no amount of long resting is gonna help you there.
Exactly.
Do I also need to
okay.
make a con save?
It was so
Yeah.
close to a natural 1, but it's a 17 plus 2, so it's a 19. I'm
You're-
doing okay.
You're doing pretty good. You got a headache, but Demir,
I'm
Been
Um,
out of my
dead.
room when I've been doing just
you're not
fine.
feeling good. You're moving kind of slow. You don't feel like if you were asked to attack someone right now, you'd probably be pretty sloppy. You're like, I hate everything right now.
Yeah. Demir is just kind of got when everyone starts getting up, she just kind of puts her face deeper into the pillow, like.
I'm not getting up.
Tobias is gonna get some glasses of water for them. Set them on the nightstand for each of them. Just like, here you go.
Thanks.
Kinda
Grabs,
Takes care of
pulls,
them in the morning.
grabs Tobias by the shirt, pulls him back. Thanks for the water. Now stop moving.
Guys could get coffee if you wanted. Also, please tell Bo that I love him.
Bo is adorable.
Avery loves you.
The
you
good
know that?
boy.
Huh? How much is coffee?
Like 5 copper pieces.
I hate to do this, but I'm gonna leave a bit early so I can shower and stuff.
Probably a smart idea.
Alright. Bye, friends.
Bye.
Wow.
Thank you for showing up.
Bye.
You will be missed. Love you.
Then Tobias will go downstairs and pay with 1 silver for 2 cups of coffee and brings it to Demir and Lish. Oh shit, I just realized that Lish can't drink it. Well, that's okay.
When
He'll learn
Demir
the hard
smells the coffee, she just kind of coffee.
He's like, yes, here you are. Handle it carefully, it's still hot.
It's not the best coffee you've ever tasted, but it's definitely not the worst. So, you know.
It's so much bitter, more bitter than what I'm used to. So Demir kind of pulls a little bit of a face, but she keeps sipping it and just like puts her hand, like puts one of her hands on Toby's hand, like, you're good.
Why, thank you. I try.
Hawk does come downstairs around now, I'd suppose.
Tobias will probably eventually join Hawk and stuff to give Lish and Demir time to wake up, recover their hangover and stuff. When he sees Hawk downstairs, he's gonna ask him, "Where were you last night?" Or it's like, "Where did you end up going last night?"
Oh, there was a park nearby. Mostly unoccupied, probably because it was so late. I just practiced music for a bit. Oh, and I did actually get you this. Hawk procures the still bound bundles of about 40 arrows total.
Just a moment.
Oh,
I figured you were running low too.
thank you. I don't know what to say. Would you like me? I can pay you back if need be.
Oh, then you don't need to. It was only 4 gold for 10. No, 1 gold for bundle of 10, 20. Don't quite remember, but it wasn't expensive.
Well, if you're certain.
Every archer needs arrows.
That is very much true. Last thing you want is to be caught in the wild with a quiver empty.
Mm-hmm. What happened to them? And Hawk sort of just like politely open-handed gestures at Lish and Demir, just conked out around the table.
We're still in bed.
Oh, never mind then. My bad.
You can be just like, where the fuck are they? Why aren't they up yet?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that instead. What? Did anything happen last night that I missed? Erin said there wasn't, but I can't help but notice that you and I think B, is B up down here?
Yeah, I'll say that
Yeah.
B and Levy are downstairs hanging out with you guys.
Can't help but notice that Lish and Demir are still in bed.
They're and Levy as well. Now that I think about it, because did Levy stay in our room?
Yeah, I think I was kind of picturing just like a cuddle pile, hamster
Okay.
style for you
Sleep.
guys. So, but
Nice.
I figure she wandered downstairs with you guys.
Okay, cool. Well, after the dance hall, we all went to one of the bars in town. And Demir found something that Lish liked to drink. So they bought a couple extra bottles with it, and brought it back here to the tavern. Enjoyed one last night. A tad hungover, but nothing serious.
Oh, so there. Well, I hope they recover quickly.
They should. I doubt there'll be any issues.
I'm not sure what effect alcohol would have on someone of Lish's kind, but I don't suppose it'd be too different than normal, would it?
That's my assumption as well.
Hmm.
Did you have any plans for today?
No. I didn't. I'm not sure what plans we as a group have, but I, for one, would still be interested in helping you find that Hemocraft mage.
Good. Because that's what I'd like to do as well.
By the way, I noticed yesterday with what was it called? An Emilicanth? Armorcanth? Fish goblin.
I'll have to find the name again. Just a second.
I can just call it a fish guy. Probably.
Just a minute. Coalinth.
Coalinth, thank you. Yesterday with that Coalinth, I noticed a streak of lightning coming from around where you were. Was that you?
That was, yes. Tobias looks a little sheepish at that, kind of scratching his cheek a little.
Oh, I didn't.
God.
It got.
Go ahead.
I'm saying Hawk can go.
No, you go ahead.
It was something that I was reminded about. A thing that people with my skill set can do.
Well, I didn't think I would run into another archer that's able to call lightning or anything, or create it, but I guess yours is a different discipline, so.
Honestly, I was surprised to see someone with your skill set as well. It's part of what reminded me that I could do something like this potentially in the first place.
Well, I'm glad to have jogged your memory. I was told that arcane archers aren't exactly everywhere, though I don't know how true that would be myself. But I, for one, have never seen another.
I have sentiments to believe that that is also true. I've never seen an arcane archer before you. In fact, I never really knew that they existed. All I really know is that there are, even then in terms of my skill set, the only other person that I've really talked to about it was my mentor.
Makes sense, considering the similarity of these two disciplines of ours.
It feels nice having something in common with another.
I must say the same.
Have you ever considered or wondered where the whole, I guess, practice of arcane archery came from?
I did ask my mentor at one point. She said that it was devised by the elves before anyone else. And she said that I was one of the few who had the luxury of learning from one firsthand. Though tutoring did end up being a little difficult.
What sort of difficulties?
Well, Rosania, that was her name, my mentor. I've mentioned her before. Her her form of arcane archery was more tied with nature. Think like I assume that Lish's magic comes from a well of nature himself, considering what he can do. Um, Rosania did much of the same. She would call brambles forth from the wood of her arrows, and even once told me that there was a way to send someone to the Feywild for a very short period of time. I
Holy shit.
was, yes, it's amazing, frankly. Um, I, for one, was never able to tap into that reservoir myself, so I looked towards other sources. It was harder to learn that way, but we figured things out. And with time, perhaps I'll figure out more ways to convert what she taught me to my source of magic.
Sorry, I was just typing the notes. I didn't want the keyboard to be clacking all over the place.
That's fair.
That's interesting that she was capable of dipping into the more nature aspect while you weren't.
I think I have my reasons to suspect why that was, in my case. And I think you might know as well. Or at least you might be able to guess.
I do believe I have my theories.
But yes, as an alternative, we both worked on ways to use my own magic, let's say. Which is part of why I can only do it so many times.
Still, though, it's come quite in handy.
That's good to hear. Though, I wish I could use it more without potentially hurting everyone else. That exploding arrow trick is a little, let's say volatile.
True, that is the case. I guess that just means we'll have to do some trial and error.
Perhaps. I've got other tricks up my sleeve, though, so I'm not too worried.
Well, regardless, I can say with certainty that I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do.
And me as well to you. We should probably check on the others at some point if they don't get up soon.
Demir might be making her way downstairs by now with a little mink coat scarf.
Yeah, she at this point has probably like pulled herself out of bed. But like definitely like mink wrapped around her face a little bit. Just kind of sits down with her with her second cup of coffee now because Lish did not drink his. Most of the way empty.
Scale of 1 to 10, how tired does she physically look?
You know, I will roll for that. How about? This is what a D10. She looks okay, like about a 3. So the coffee has set in a little. She's more just like begrudging the fact that she has to get out of bed more than anything else.
Oh, well, there's 2 of 3. Good morning, Demir.
Good morning.
Everyone is downstairs at that point.
Oh, Aaron's down here too? Okay.
Yeah, I think he'll run around.
I thought he was still in bed.
I mean, unless you're not counting Lish, who is currently animal.
No, that was the 2 and the 2 of 3.
Okay.
I think Hawk at this point knows that if Demir is accompanied by an animal that is very close to her, it's probably Lish.
Well, you've
I
seen
could have
this
gotten
mink
a pet
before.
last night.
Precisely.
Just for the sake of it, could you describe this mink, please?
It's a little. He's been it before, so everybody's seen him as a mink before. He's a little kind of like dark black mink with kind of this like frosty white kind of tipped fur, and it kind of seems a bit like snow or ice, but it's not its fur. He's a glacial mink.
I think when it's down, he's gonna, say his good mornings. And then seeing that Lish is currently minked up, he's gonna say to Demir, he can understand me, right?
Yes. No, I'm the only
You're
one
gonna
that
talk
can
shit in front of me, Aaron.
No. And then Aaron's gonna say, well, thanks, Lish. Yesterday was fun.
The little mink kind of lifts his head a little blearily and just kind of chitters. Kind of curls himself back up.
Partying was never so painful before.
Did you used to God. Did you used to
That statement says
have
everything I need to know.
something to deal with it?
No, I mean I've been hungover before. I know what it is, but
Oh, never mind.
the kinds of parties Lish like to throw.
Aaron's just gonna
Fairy
nod.
shit.
You can't continue having fun if everybody gets sick, he says to Demir in his little chittering.
She gonna translate that?
Nope.
Okay.
she's gonna kind of scritch him between the ears a little bit, and then just kind of, well,
And then Aaron's gonna
so we
sit
have
down
a
at the side of the table.
location to head to.
Yeah.
Do we?
So everyone agrees then that we should help Toby find more answers and maybe solve a murder mystery in the process.
Well,
Yes,
it's on the way.
Who's been murdered?
Evila is on the way to
It seems.
Amrai.
Yes.
If that's an out of character question, Kenzie, remember last session that there was a town crier talking about a
Oh, right, the
string of
serial
homicides and there was a
killer.
hemocraft mage suspected.
I was gonna say, yeah. Well, if she's guilty, then it'll be important to prove that, and if she's innocent, it'll be equally important to prove that.
The murderers have been taking place in Uvila, by the way, not Amrai.
Yeah.
Just for
And-
clarification.
All right, and then Toby and say, and they do seem important to Toby as well.
So are we headed out today? Is there anything?
I, for one, am ready. I don't know about the rest of you.
Weren't you waiting on the head archivist to translate that book?
Said she could reach out to us if we're out of town.
Ah,
It could be
okay.
a while, so.
Are we
Then
going
I
to
Perhaps we
we
should
should-
let her know that we're leaving. I'm sure she is practiced in magic. That much is true. She did also, I believe, contact her brother with magic. Maybe she could do the same for us. We just need to let her know we're gone.
Yeah, that seems
But
that seems like common courtesy.
At this point, B kind of coos and waves to get attention and writes down and holds out a book, her little notebook, and it says, what do you want to say?
Oh, you can do it, B?
I'm just double checking. And she nods.
How about we tell Verhasa, the wild roses are going to Uvila. Let us know when you need us.
And tell her to say hi to Theoden for us.
Hang on, I have to it's only 25 words, and
Yep.
I don't know that.
but
we do not know that.
yeah, no. So I'm trying. It's for the sake of
It's
me
yeah, it's
piloting
probably
the cleric
like-
right now, trying to figure out how much
Here,
she can
let
say.
me give this a shot just to help out. Let's see.
Wait, so Hawk has message?
No, B does.
Oh,
He
B
does.
does.
B can cast ascending. It is a
Encountered
third level
NPC.
spell, and you guys are level 5, so that means you can cast
Theoden.
2 third level spells. So
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
So what
10,
I'm
11,
hearing is
12,
she can
13, 14,
send
15,
one
16,
message
17,
saying,
18.
you know, we'll be
Oh,
a
there's
violent, whatever.
There's
And
enough
one message
room.
saying, also say hi to your brother. We love him.
Check general. That's exactly 20 words.
Ooh.
We've even got 5 more if we want to squeeze anything in.
You can respond to this message.
okay, thank you. So B will.
You can respond to the. That's 6 words. You can just say you can respond.
So B will cast sending, and she says it's kind of unnerving because she says first in Hawk's voice. The wild roses are going to Violet. Let us know if you need help. And then switches to Erin's voice. Say hi to Theoden for us. And then she waits a few minutes and then responds in Varhasa's voice.
Oh, that's creepy.
Oh. Let Asha know whatever she says, by the way. She'll probably want to note that down in B's vocab.
Thank you for letting me know. I will contact if necessary.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much indeed.
Quite useful. And then
there's sort of a pause, and then B says also in Varhasa's voice, I will let him know. Thank you for playing with him.
Oh,
of course.
Heart. All right.
Well, if we're gonna be hitting the road, I'd like to pick up a few supplies.
I was going to say, let's make sure we're prepared.
Yeah.
If we need anything, we'd best get it before we leave, because I don't know what kind of stores are in Uvila.
Yep, it'll be best to get an upcut from unknown quantity. All right, so do you wanna come with me, Hawk?
Well, we could do it as a group, perhaps. I assume that we're all going to need to go to the same places.
That makes sense.
I'm not sure what kind of supplies the more magical of us will need, but as for you, Tobias, and I think if we need anything, we'll all find it in the same place.
It's gonna nod along.
I wouldn't mind tagging along for any magical shopping, though. It sounds like it could be interesting.
It does sound like it could be interesting. There's a lot of... You can do a lot more than I once thought possible. All right. Well, is that the plan?
If no one's opposed.
Sounds like a plan.
I believe it's an agreement.
All right.
Right.
Actually, come to think of it, the rest of you should probably get something to eat first.
Oh,
Why?
yes.
Even the hungover need food, Lish.
You can't hear me. I'm a mink.
I know. I'm not responding as Hawk. I know it's hard to tell. Sorry.
Demir is just going to order like a thing of bread, like just
Okay.
some toast, basically.
Yeah, I'll say that's just like, I don't know, 2 copper pieces. I don't know. I don't want to pull it up again after I close the tab and pulled up magic shop inventory. So
Yay!
So you can mark that down.
So we will get a thing of toast as well. So I'll
I want to stop by the magic shop before we go.
Okay. Let me pull up the info for that. So much information, so little time. Okay. So you may recall that the magic shop is called Talismans and Treasures. I'll give the description again. From the outside, you can see that this building is much like that of the other nearby buildings. It is 2 stories high and made of polished marble. Instead of a domed roof, however, it has a slanted slate roof. There are green banners all over the building, making the place look bright and stand out against the buildings nearby to a certain extent. The banners have golden embroidery on them, creating a symbol of a necklace crossing with a wand, the latter of which has sparks spilling out of it. Instead of a front door, there are more curtains with beads within the door frame that are somewhat reminiscent of a Tigwayan style.
Cool.
I'll pull up the actual character information I have for the shopkeep now, which is an entirely different Google Doc.
Hey. We might actually want to make sure Felix has this information too, in case they want to get anything for Levy.
Yeah,
Maybe after the session,
I'll
probably.
talk to them about it later.
Okay.
Don't need information for Theoden. Don't need them. Thank you for your patience.
Oh, that's cool.
No worries.
Don't need him.
Shame Felix couldn't make it again,
Don't
by the
need
way.
him.
They're awesome.
Here we go. Okay, so you may recall that the shop owner is a satyr. He has a gray ram horns kind of curling around on his side, and his hair is black and in little kind of mini dreadlock twists, kind of all pushed to one side. He has kind of a little scruffy beard along his jawline, and on the tip of his nose, he has silvery glasses. And when you guys enter the shop, he greets you warmly. He says, welcome to my shop. What can I do for you?
Alicia's still a mink, so he's gonna travel down Demir's arm and plop to the floor and turn back into himself. Intimidation check.
He looks kind of pleased, maybe somewhat impressed.
Good.
So you, Lish, would know that he is a Hafkinvad, which is a term that refers to any Fae or descendants of Fae from the Feywild who've chosen to leave their home plane and settle on a different plane permanently. Usually the material plane, but not necessarily specifically that one.
Yeah. Satyr would probably be more commonly associated to like spring or summer courts, more so than mine.
Yeah. He he's got the kind of look of a guy that has been born and raised on the material plane.
But he's a magical practitioner, it seems, at least a little bit. So
Mhm,
can
yeah,
never
and
quite tell what
you can
experience they have.
see he's got a small little clockwork like frog on the counter next to him.
Yes, I'm gonna kind of lean a little bit over the counter, friendly, and say, I have a request that maybe you can help me out with. And I hold my hand out to kind of shake his. I'm Lish.
Pleasure to meet you. And he shakes your hand. My name is Farvis.
Farvis. Well, friend, I don't know if you have any sort of experience with small demi-planes and attaching them to the prime material plane.
Not in particular. What sort of thing are you looking for specifically?
I have a small plane. It holds some objects that are valuable to me. I cannot access it currently, and I'd like assistance in doing so.
Is this more like a bag of holding sort of situation?
It is not attached to a bag of holding, but that is what I would like to do with it.
Well, let me see.
Ooh, that's smart.
I might be able to. Creating a bag of holding in of itself is not too difficult. However, locating the inside of a bag of holding, and actually, he's gonna look at you and roll insight real quick, just to make sure you're not trying to get into someone else's stuff. Yeah. Okay. He trusts you on this.
For some reason.
For some reason.
I see him on the level. How?
People get their bags of holding
He
stolen
must
every
really
day.
roll bad on that insight check.
He rolled a 7, my dudes.
Yeah.
I'm no
Actually,
liar.
so let's see. For a total of 11. Yeah, he trusts you. Well, let me think. Would you be interested to? Would you be able to tell me, I suppose, what sort of things that you had within this bag of holding? Because they may be able to be replaced. However, being able to retrieve those contents is another thing entirely.
Okay, so is he saying that he might lose them upon trying to do this sort of thing? Can you re-explain kind of what he just said?
So he is saying he may have some stuff that would be able to replace the bag of holding and the stuff within. Otherwise, it might be more expensive to try to locate the specific demi-plane and grab it for you.
No, I don't need a bag of holding. I need the access to this demi-plane. If any demi-plane would do, we could just use bees.
Well, you'll have to give me a little bit more information, I'm afraid, for me to be able to locate this demi-plane.
I will kind of crook my finger a little for him to lean forward over the counter, and I will kind of murmur to him some of the contents inside of the demiplane.
Okay. I assume you're sending that to me.
Yeah, well, I mean,
privately.
you know what he wants from there.
Yeah. But for the sake of it, grab me a quick list so that I don't have to dig through all of my files. If you wouldn't mind. Sorry, I have so many things.
So many papers and documents.
Yeah, it's wild DMing, guys. He kind of scratches his beard and thinks for a minute. And I feel it should be known that he has the kind of nice Mr. Tumnus ears, and they kind of twitched when listening. He thinks, well, I might be able to get that for you. It would be kind of difficult. I suppose that would be about and are you looking to anchor it to anything in particular?
Any kind of bag, I suppose, will do. He kind of looks over at B and says aloud, maybe if it's possible to attach it to another bag of holding. But Aslan's not here to confirm or deny whether or not B would be interested.
I'll ask her later. But
it'd be easy enough to try and like clear out her bag and just put a different demiplane in without getting rid of her stuff.
So you know that the way that sort of bags of holding work is that to get everything out of them, you would simply need to turn it inside out or slash a hole in it. You're not looking to slash a hole in it, but the point is it would be easy to get
everything out. Yeah.
So he thinks, and I'm going to double check his list of spells here. Well, I would probably be able to locate it with materials and cost of materials and time spent. That would be about 500 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to pay that now?
Would that be something that I could pay upon delivery? Or perhaps even some sort of favor?
Roll a persuasion check.
Ooh, I hope I roll well. It is a 24.
Very well. You can pay upon delivery. And what would be the best way to contact you? Are you staying here with an Opius?
Not for long. Are you able to send?
I would have to find someone who could send, otherwise could send by courier if you tell me whereabouts you're going. Otherwise, if any of you are capable of sending. I would say give me about a few weeks to a month.
Lish just breathes heavily, a sigh at that length of time, and just nods.
Is there anything I can help you with in the meantime? We have a variety of wares here, both magical and mundane.
Kind of looks back at everyone in the shop if anybody wants anything.
Tobias is going to approach the shopkeeper. Would you be able to tell if a sending stone is disconnected?
Absolutely. Let's see. I have access to the identify spell, and that should be able to tell me if it is if it is not connected, it would be non-magical. So let me see. And he starts pulling out some materials such as an owl feather and a pearl worth 100 gold pieces. Let's see. Just trying to see what this would cost. Let's call it, how about 5 gold pieces for the expansion of my spell?
Of course. Here. Tobias gives him the 5 gold pieces, and then he pulls out the sending stone as well.
All right. So he begins to cast identify, and it takes him about a minute because he's getting the stuff organized, and then he touches it, and he holds it in one hand, and he's casting the spell with the materials in the other hand, touches it, and he says, yes, this one seems to be in working order.
Do you know, I've been trying to contact someone with this. We had been using it for about 2-3 years now, but it's only been for the last few weeks that I've not been able to get responses. Do you know what could cause that?
Well, as it is in working order, there are a couple of theories I have. He could have dropped it. It could have been stolen, though what someone would want with only one sending stone, I'm not sure. Those are the main theories I have. Is this person usually reliable with getting back to you?
Yes.
Yes. Then odds are it is probably dropped or stolen or misplaced otherwise.
Would it be possible to track it down? Is there a way to discern its location?
That, I'm afraid, is outside of my realm of expertise.
Do you know what kind of skill set would be needed in order to find that information out?
Well, I suppose that one could use a scrying spell within an arcane amplifier. However, I do not believe there are those within there are any of those within the city. Best place to look would be in the Katia Institute, which is, of course, in Royas. You could ask the Lady Archivist, perhaps, if she has any teleportation circles. I don't know if any of you are capable of teleporting.
Not yet.
Otherwise, if you are choosing to, if any of you are capable of divine means, I've heard of clerics that are able to ask their gods yes or no questions that would be able to locate such an object, such as it would help narrow it down at least.
I see. Well, thank you very much for your assistance.
Of course. Were there any magical items you wish to borrow or supplies?
While this has all been going on, Hawk's been scanning the room for anything that seems relevant to his interests. Anything that seems particularly rangy, archy, maybe anything that anyone could use, just to probably, be useful.
Well, when looking around, there you do see what seems to be a heavy crossbow that has somewhat of a magical aura
Oh, I
around
wish.
it.
I so wish.
Let's see. The heavy crossbow in question is a +1 crossbow, which you can ask about. There is also a hand crossbow, which has something to it, which you think could be, you could ask about it if you wanted. And but what specifically are you looking for? There's another hand crossbow, which is
Well, unfortunately, Hawk's class features actually don't. They're not compatible with I can't speak. Help. They aren't compatible with crossbows, unfortunately.
Mhm.
I wish they were, because I'd be sick. But I don't know. Just like I don't know, arrows, quivers, just general, and also just like general magic items that perhaps anyone could use that could
Okay.
seem useful.
Well, hanging on a couple of busts, mannequins, there are a couple of different robes, which are on display. There seems to be an interesting looking potion. There's and then there are various scrolls about to there are also some, maybe there's a short sword which looks kind of fancy. There seems to be within one of the display cases scale mail armor. Then there are also healing potions. There are the
Excuse
healing
me.
potions, and then there is the weird other
Right.
potion.
Excuse me. How much for the healing potions over here?
Oh, well, it depends on what sort of healing you're trying to get. If you're looking for one that's that'll heal you a little bit, it'll get you standing at least, that would be 50 gold pieces. Otherwise, if you're looking for something that is a little better, shall we say, we have a potion of superior healing for about 450 gold pieces. Potion of greater healing, that would be about 150, perhaps.
Right. I'm assuming this mail here would cost quite a bit then. Surely it took a while to get all of this properly enchanted.
Yes, this is a mariner's scale mail, which would allow you to swim as fast as you can walk.
Impressive.
This would cost about 1,550 gold pieces.
Well, if only I could afford this. I'm sure it's worth every piece.
It could be quite helpful if you are on a ship or planning on going toe-to-toe with a kraken or something, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Neither would I. Does anyone want to split for one of the potions? Those could come in handy.
I'd be
Yeah,
willing to,
that's
sure.
that's a good idea.
How many do you think we should get? And what kind, perhaps? I know we're not terribly well to do, but it would help to have one or two, I'd think.
I think probably two small ones if we can get them over just a big one.
So there are 2 potions of healing, which are common rarity. The potions of greater healing, which cost 150. There is only one of those, and there is only one potion of superior healing.
Yeah, we're probably gonna go for the 250 gold ones. I've only got 40 though, so I obviously can't afford both by myself.
Aaron just pulls out his effing handful of gems again. There are 35.
35 gold worth?
Yeah.
Okay, so that together would be about 75. We need 25 more for 2. Even then, we still might want to save a bit.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Shit. Let's see. Tobias has 32 gold.
We could probably do like a 3-way split weighted to more towards Hawk for a healing. 15, 15, and 20.
Okay.
All right.
All right, that sounds good
Let's
to me.
pull that. All right. So Hawk takes like 15 worth from both and adds to his 20 to pay for the one.
Aaron
Okay.
just read to me again.
So you're just getting 1 potion of healing.
Yes, because I would like to have at least one, but I also don't want to go broke.
Okay.
Right,
So yeah, you
so-
can add potion of healing to your inventory, which is
Potion of
it's
healing?
common, so it heals you
2d4 plus 2, right?
24 plus 2, correct.
Nice. Reminder that Hawk actually started with one of those and gave it to Lish during Tasha's carnival.
Yeah.
Oh. And I drank it, and it was good because I'd been bitten by a giant snake.
Anything would taste good after that.
The snake was Lish's own fault.
It was not. You take that nonsense and get out of here.
Get outta
I
here.
want snake in my brain vibes.
I happened to trust the snake and was ready to take it up on that
Well,
offer.
you see, Aaron, that was Eden's last mistake.
And in the very
God.
next room, we saw them putting people into grinders. So good choices all around.
Anyway,
You have a potion. Yes.
you can add that to your inventory.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Hawk hold on to that.
There are also various scrolls, but again, you're trying not to go broke.
Yeah.
There is a tentacle rod if you're interested for 5,000, but
One that's expensive too. I'm not into that.
otherwise, if you guys actually wanted to sell your gems,
That's probably a good idea. So Aaron stops flashing gems everywhere.
mhm,
Yeah, for sure. I'll convert my gems to gold.
okay, that works too. Otherwise, there's you could buy a grappling hook. I'm kind of just
Grappling
noticing
hook?
what it has.
In a magic
Grappling
Are there
store?
any like
Non
Are there any
magical
magical-
for
Oh.
2 gold pieces.
Oh, okay.
are there any magical
I mean, that's still cool.
items that are
Um,
under 100 gold
Let me
that seem worth
check.
anything?
Let's
My guess
see.
is no, because magic is expensive.
Magic is expensive.
Yeah.
It's a
If
You
if
could get-
Demir, Lish,
yeah, no,
Levy, and B can
there's
ever make
a-
their own magic items, we'll be rolling in it.
non-magical wooden staff for 5 gold pieces.
Save your money. I've got one that I'm not using.
I have one too.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. I'm just kind of looking over, and then Samir is going to kind of slide up to Lish's side and just like, what is it that you want so desperately?
I'll talk to you about it later.
Gee.
Okay.
Gives her a little smooch on the cheek. It's nothing to worry about.
Demir, can I have 2 gold from the party fund for a grappling hook? I think we'll all benefit from that, potentially.
Grappling hook.
Certainly.
But I can.
I will give you 2 gold pieces.
Not everyone can fly, Lish.
Well, I can make at least a quarter of us fly.
Not good enough.
Here you go.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna put that in there too. I'm
There
pretty
you
sure we
go.
still have rope, even though we probably got a fair bit of it back from Tasha incident.
Yeah, it was thrown all over the lawn.
Cool.
Did we get all that rope back? How much rope do we have now?
That's a good question. I'd assume that like
You
between
got
what we
most
found,
of it back. You got like I don't recall how much you.
we used a lot of rope.
I'll just say one person is missing their rope now.
Okay.
I'll take missing my rope because I think I want to go to because it'll provide a good opportunity for me to suggest going to a general adventuring store.
Oh, that's a good point. We might
This
want to
is
do
the
that next
general
session though, because it is
adventuring
one.
store.
Yeah.
So we might want to wrap it up in the
getting
magic
late,
shop, then go on.
But yeah, it's my intention.
Let me look at the weight of a grappling hook real quick.
This is the general adventuring store, by the way.
I don't
Adventurers
Oh,
think-
get
this
lots
is
of-
the general adventure store. I thought we were still in the magic item shop.
It is the magic item shop.
Oh, it's both.
it's
Oh,
both.
that's spicy. Yeah, okay,
I
I'm
don't
gonna buy
think
some.
Avery is
An enterprise.
making
That's
us
an enterprising little satyr.
I don't think Avery is making us track encumbrance.
I mean, I'm still putting it down just in case.
I'm not. I'm making you track. Making you track like stuff like exhaustion and what you're tuned to and whatnot, but not ignore encumbrance.
I usually ignore that too, honestly, or at least I vouch for it. Because you need a lot of gear.
Yeah, so
And
I
you
guess
typically start with like 50 pounds worth.
Sarah's gonna look for some
But
rope.
yeah, if you're looking for just a regular hempen rope, that's 1 gold piece. If you want to get a silk rope, say of the same length, that's 10 gold pieces.
I think we'll be fine with just hemp rope.
All right.
Hemp rope, and then are there just rations about?
Let me check.
I've got rations.
I'm going to pick up a thing of silk rope.
Okay.
While you guys are finishing up,
Neo, you extravagant bitch.
I just want to say, while you guys are doing that stuff, I gotta bounce because I got work at 3:15 and I gotta wash my hair, and that takes fucking hours to dry.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that
I
makes
can
sense.
imagine.
I'm
Have a
just
good day
get-
then.
I'm just getting the
Probably
rations worked out, and we're good to go.
Yeah, we're probably gonna.
Sick.
Rations are 5 silver pieces each for 1 day.
I will see you dudes later. Thank you for DMing and being wonderful, Avery. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Fare thee well.
Thank you for showing up. All right. That's weird and awkward, but Aaron is gonna buy 18 rations.
Hungry.
Okay.
And I just love the mental image of going up with your like adventure nutrient pills, setting down a stack of 18 of them, and then setting down a stack of gemstones. Like,
It's more
yep, I'm
like
paying for my
beef
nutrients.
jerky and trail mix.
I think
and,
we've
like,
converted
water
gold,
bottles.
but I think
You're
we've converted
good.
gems
Yeah, I
to gold
believe
at this
so.
point too. So unless you
Yeah.
really want to flaunt some rubies,
God.
You could buy a ruby from
buy a
Province if
ruby.
you want.
I don't know why you'd need a ruby, but you could buy a ruby.
I don't know. Spell components. Oh, B was gonna buy a pearl. I'll figure that out later. Okay.
Gonna buy a what?
A
Pearl.
pearl.
She needs it for a
wants
spell
to-
component.
She wants to cast identify.
Yeah. And I think that's everything I need.
I'll see if she has the money for that later. But in any case, we can call it here, and then next time you guys can be on the road.
Sounds good.
Yay!
Right.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Cool
All right.
stuff.
All right.
All right.
Gotta head out.
So,
Yeah.
thanks for
well, yeah.
playing, guys.
Thank y'all.
All right.
Bye.
See y'all next week and during, I guess. We never truly leave.
Bye, friends.